Blessed risings, good afternoon or good evening, depending on where in the world you are tapping in from. You got to keep in mind that Keep It P podcast is a global show. And today, on this episode of Tether Talk, we will be discussing the definition of what is a tether? What is a tether? If you've been watching the new Black media, you've heard the term. If you're new to it, you're just finding out about the term. If you're B1 KIPP family, B1 FBA to the family, then you already know. And it's our duty to explain it to those that don't know but want the knowledge, because we already know everybody isn't going to make it. Everybody's not going to make it to the promised land. Everybody's not can't go with us. We're rooting out the Kuna Matatas, and they can't go with us. And neither can the tethers. Now, the term tether is not all inclusive. It is not a one term fits all. Let's break down and see. This is from the Medium. See, you have to know when you're winning. This is our terminology that's becoming worldwide, international, our vernacular, FBA vocabulary. Right? What is a tether? It says right here, tether, tie, an animal with a rope or chain so as to restrict his movement. The horse had been tethered to a post. 2, use, a smartphone in order to connect a computer or other device to the internet. Check if Wi-Fi access is free in the lobby or tether your phone. Noun, a rope or chain with which an animal is tied to restrict its movements. Regulations, harming neck and girth tethers for sows. Talking about tying up a cow, right? Tying up a pig, right? Baby born in the United States is a ploy for citizenship. Tether babies allows to immigrate to America, right? Don't vote Sheila Jackson Lee. She's a tether. Now, it doesn't mean that just because you were born here, just because you were a baby born in the United States of a non-citizen, doesn't make you a tether. It's an action. It's how you act. What does it mean to be someone's tether? Deeper meaning. Tethered describes someone that's tied up, like a horse that's tethered to a fence, or a dog that's tethered to the person who is walking it. Whenever you can find a person or animal to keep them in one place, they're tethered. See that? See, the tethers, that's why we call them tethers, because their attempt is to hold FBA in place, to put shackles on their feet so they can't move, to disrupt the movement so there is no movement. Let me tie up your hands. Your hands are tied, right? So when they talk about reparations and why they can't make the push, oh, what do you want us to do? Our hands are tied, right? Tethered by the tethers, the non-FBA citizens, right? Not even citizens, but non-FBA, but they could be citizens now. Who cares? Because their whole point is to stop progress, is to stop the movement, because they're not included. Tethership not included, right? You can't get things, right? So why would I want you to have reparations? I'm going to block. A tether is a blocker, a cock blocker. What does it mean to be a tether baby? Tether babies are the byproduct of a child born to non-citizen mothers and other family members to gain legal residency, birthright citizenship. So you're playing a game, right? Not just because you was born, but when you start to play the game, that's when you become a tether. What does it mean when someone is at the end of their tether? When someone is at the end of their tether, that means a person is in a state in which they can't have a problem, difficult situation, etc. any longer. I've been dealing with their lives for too long. I'm at the end of my tether. Right? So that's the definition from Medium from Brooke Sinclair from Medium, March 28th, 2022. So see, our vernacular is out there. So almost 3 years ago, it's out there. Let's see what Tariq says a tether is. I'll be playing that at the end of the show for those that haven't heard that song before. But here we go. This is a breakdown. This is fair use. I'm clearly teaching. This is an opportunity for knowledge. Fair use. Poop tube. What is a tether? Take
term is and again, them trying to come in and undermine the tether term is and again, them trying to come in and undermine us in many cases is very unfortunate, and we call that out. But what's more dangerous, and where the tether term applies, is when people who look a lot like us, who come in and try to secretly undermine us. See, we know when the Latinos, we kind of know what their get down is. We already know. But the thing is, we get people over here who kind of blend in with us to a certain degree, and then take on our dialect, take on our language, and they start acting like us,
right,
but secretly try to undermine us.
Right.
So that's what a tether is. When you tether yourself onto somebody, that's what the movie Us was about. That's why the movie Us, and I want y'all to go look at that movie and study it, because it was really about immigration and about, Black people coming from somewhere else, replacing.
Boom. Right?
You need to fight. This is what you want, you fight for it.
Right. So that's what a tether is.
The tether term is it.
If you didn't catch that, right? That's what a tether is. And as you can see, he has plenty of tether episodes that you can come and check out. There's one for 30 minutes. Here's another one for 20 minutes, right? So the knowledge is out here if you want to know. And why tether? Why we all got to be tether? No, you're not all tethers. We're not saying that. There's an action. If you act like a tether, then you're a tether. The word may seem simple at first glance, but its meaning carries various contexts, particularly in the discourse of foundational Black Americans. We will explore the literal, figurative, and cultural relevant definitions of tether, highlighting its significance in the life of FBAs. A tether is traditionally defined as a rope. Said that farmers, for example, tether their livestock, keep them from wandering off. In a metaphorical sense, the term can have a person or object being restricted, confined, or tied to a particular situation or place. How the tethers have, this is like Tariq had said, these are people who look like you. The Bibians, Haitians, Jamaicans, see, they kind of resemble you. They start talking like you. They take on your cultural norms, right? And then parade themselves as being foundational Black American, then making decisions, right? For you, when they don't have the knowledge, they're not able to. You haven't been in, you haven't endured the difficult situations. You haven't been through the atrocities of slavery. You didn't help to build, right, this nation. So then you come in making decisions that affect us, that you don't know the history to make the decision. You don't have the experience to make said decision. At the end of their tether refers to someone who has reached the limit of their patience, right? We have reached the end of our patience with you tethers. That's why we have decided to delineate, right? We want to be specific so that it's known we're not all just one big Negro, and those over there that resemble and look like they could or may be Us are not. What's the problem? What's the problem? Right? It's like a parent managing a toddler's tantrums, right? I'm at the end of my tether, right? Right? So as FBAs, we're the parents managing these toddler tethers that are having tantrums because we've decided to say we're not the same. But the kicker is they've been saying they're not the same. I know black. You've been saying that. So all we did was agree with you. We agree. You know black. We heard you. We listening to you. You say you know black. We agree. We agree. In the context of foundational Black Americans, tether takes on a deeper and more specific meaning. It describes individuals or groups perceived as exploiting systems and benefits created by FBAs without giving due recognition or respect to their foundational contributions. This dynamic often leads to tension and a call for acknowledgement of FBA heritage, right? You don't understand where you're going because you don't know where you came from because you're pretending like you came from our struggle, but you did not, right? You came from the outback slums of Congo, Ghana. You came from the scammers capital of the world, Nigeria. That's where you come from. So when you are put in these positions to make decisions for FBAs, you can't properly make the right decision because you don't have a proper understanding. You don't have that experience. You don't have that heritage. So not only in your lack of acknowledgement, you don't have the knowledge. The term tether babies refers to children born in countries with birthright citizenship, such as the United States, to non-citizens' parents. These children's citizenship can act as a tether, allowing the parents and family to gain residency or access to systems designed to support FBAs. Right. Piggybacking, right? Which we know. But then you started mooching. And then from mooching, you started taking over. And then you started taking over. Then you started denying, right? The contributions, denying, right? The system designed to support, right? Right? You started denying how those systems were put in place and who those were actually for. And then so you started using those to uplift not other people that look like you, in fact, but people who don't look like you. And you started forming these coalitions, Black and Brown Coalition, where you get nothing out of. You started forming these groups, Black Coon Caucus, right? Full of tethers that push nothing forward, but they line their pockets. They push their agendas forward, which is to get rich for them. And they don't even care about getting they people on as long as they get on. They may get a family member or two on, but it's all about how they can enrich themselves. That's why their countries aren't doing good, right? That's why they leave their countries. That's why they run. That's why they tuck tail in shame, in cowardice, and then come over here and pretend to be FBA, get where they need to get, and then point shame at us like, what are you doing? We pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps. No, you tethered your way up the rope. That's what you did. And we allowed you to do that thinking that you would be ancestor minded, right? Right? Because we were still we're all one big Negro, right? We're all family. We are family. I got on my sisters, brothers, the tethers in me, right? right? Because we was Africa, we was wearing medallions, the sheikies, right? Come on now. It continues. So while the practice of tethering leverages existing laws, critics argue it exploits frameworks originally intended to support FBAs, whose ancestors endured systematic oppression to build these systems. Right. And you just come over, take advantage of them like we had nothing to do with it. Well, the white man shut this up. This is America. This for everybody. This our slice of apple pie. No, 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 no. It's your slice of sweet potato pie that we made, right? The concept of a tether is particularly significant to FBAs because it highlights the exploitation and erasure of our contributions. Pay attention. This is what makes you a tether. These are the actions that you participate in which make you a tether. FBAs are descendants of Black Americans who were enslaved the killing fields of the South in the United States and have played a critical role in shaping the nation's culture, legal systems, and infrastructure that you take advantage of without acknowledging our contributions. That's what makes you a tether. See, that's an action. It's an action, yet many feel their sacrifice and achievements are overshadowed or exploited by tethers who benefit from their work without contributing to or respecting their legacy. Right. So you come over here, you talk that bootstraps, but you didn't pull yourself up by no bootstraps because you couldn't even pull yourself up by your bootstraps at home where you came from. So you had to come over here where we done cut the straps to the bootstraps. We done cut them. Right. And then you come over here and take advantage because you curry favor with zaddy, male zaddy and mommy that we won't do. We won't play the house Negro. See? And you came and said, we'll come fill that need. We'll play the house Negro. Right? And that's what y'all do. You pretend to get our votes. You pretend that you're with us to get our votes. You pretend another reparation group. We gonna research reparations. Another group, another committee, another advisory board. Look what we doing. All while you're just spinning your wheels. This is a merry-go-round and around, right? You're just spinning it. You keep sweating us. You keep baby pleasing us. Just give us more time. Just give us more time. We're working on it. We're working on it. See, we brought it like in California, right? The Black legislative, right, movement, right? The Coon Caucus, right? And then they brought the bill, right? Steve, he brought the bill, right? Right. That was his job. Just to I brought it. All y'all had to pass it so it could go to Newsom's desk. Y'all didn't even do that. Who would do that? Tethers spinning their wheels. Right. See, that's why we got stuff done in the civil rights movement, right? Because it was led predominantly by FBAs, right? Why can't y'all do nothing in this reparations movement that y'all say that you want, that you say that you're for us, right? Because that's being led predominantly by tethers. That's why HR 40 has stalled out for 40 years. But when it's led predominantly by FBAs, we secured the bag. We secured elections against racial discrimination, right? But guess what? These protections went to everyone, all in immigrants, right? You're not a citizen. I'm a citizen and I can barely get the protections. But you come over here, you get Asian hate crime protections, right? You get gift cards from the La Quinta, Pizza Hut, Walmart. You get stipends, you get rent paid, you get your school, right? We was never hating others' inclusion, right? We didn't believe that was inherently negative. We're a giving and loving people, right? But we would argue that we've had unique struggles and contributions, and it not be diluted or overshadowed in the process of trying to help others, right? No, but you gave what is for us to others so that you could cover with them, so that they could be your lap dogs and do your bidding, so they can leapfrog us and keep us tethered down to the bottom, right? Restrict our movements, tie our hands. Understanding the cultural significance of tether is in addressing broader discussions about equity, justice, and cultural preservation. Our cultural preservation. See, you want to preserve your Jamaican heritage in America. How? Why don't you go to Jamaica, preserve the cultural your culture over there, right? Get it nice and strong. Fight that British colonialism, right? Because aren't y'all still under, Ain't y'all still under the Brits, right? So you got some work to do, right? Go over there and make Jamaica the best it can be. Right. But instead, you want to come over here and use the systems and opportunities in the United States that were built on the back of FBA struggle. See, that's what you want to do. You want to step on our backs, right? And any narrative that erases or diminishes our role perpetuates a form of historical injustice, tether. But that's your goal, thus making you a tether. That's why you are called a tether. For example, debates around the origins of hip hop often illustrate this dynamic, right? Hip hop, a genre birthed by FBAs in the Bronx, and I'm even saying before then, right? I just seen things about my man Charlie on the drums, and y'all using them for all kind of, come on, man, Public Enemy, to name one of the records that used Fam's funky drum lines, right? And it's now a global phenomenon. So so our culture is global, international. But now everybody wants a piece of it, like that was them. So now we have so many narratives attempting to rewrite history, right? Disproportionately crediting immigrant groups while downplaying the roles of foundational Black Americans. That's why we have terms like tether to help identify and challenge these distractions. That's all. When you begin to understand tether, it can apply to various real world scenarios. For example, in middle schoolers, the term might resonate when discussing fairness in group projects, right? Right? This is as simple as an example you can get. If one student, being FBA, does most of the work, but others take credit, it reflects a similar imbalance. Recognizing this dynamic helps foster a sense of justice and mutual respect in everyday interactions. This is why we can't interact with you every day, right? This is why we decided to delineate so that we can be separate, right? So that we don't. So listen, we're not trying to bash y'all, but y'all been bashing us, right? Right? You've been, I know Black, you are Katas, don't call me Black, I am not your brother. I am not your brother. This is what you've said throughout the years. This didn't just happen. This isn't like some new phenomenon. No, you've been doing this. And we've been trying to, no, we love you, brother. No, we love you, sister. No, my brothers and sisters from Africa, we love you. We're all one black, body. My brothers and sisters from Haiti, we love you. From the Caribbean, Jamaica, we love you, right? From Brazil, if you got dark skin, we feel you. Our Afro-Cuban, right? We was feeling all of that. But unfortunately, it wasn't reciprocated. So now we're where we're at. So now you're taking credit for work you didn't put in. Right? So the term tether, it extends far beyond literal definition. But it is that. But it is carrying deep cultural and historical implications for FBAs. It reflects a call for acknowledgement, fairness, and preservation of a legacy built through immense struggle and sacrifice by us, not by y'all or no one else. Well, what about when we were slaves too? Over there in Egypt and over there in South America, we'll go back and fight that. What is you talking about? What that got to do with you trying to fight here? What is you talking about? Go fight that battle where it happened, that over in your place that you left like a coward. Go fight that. What is you talking about? See, if you begin to understand the concept in its broader applications, maybe we can promote a more accurate and equatable narrative that honors the contributions of FBAs, right? While fostering greater cultural awareness in all communities, right? We didn't mind. We was eating all the Chinese food, right? And still until y'all started talking crazy. You niggas, y'all black, right? We don't want no wing fry half for you. So we stop shopping with all you different groups and communities. What is you talking about? We the most loving group there is. We accept everybody. Everybody gets an invitation to the cookout. You ain't even got to, what? What? You can do it dance without falling over your 2 feet and you don't look like Forrest Gump the whole time? Oh, come on to the cookout. What? You cook some green bean casserole and put some bacon on it? Oh, you got a little soul. Come on to the cookout, Heather. Come on, stop it. What did we learn here today, boys and girls? That they got us messed up, P. All this excusing and crying. Y'all cry babies. Go fight where you fight at. We don't got nothing against nobody, but what we not going to do is keep being everybody's footstool. That's it. That's all. I'm not going to hold you. I'm just going to mold you, fold you, and scold you about being off code. Going to leave you with 4 words as we always do around this time. Subscribe for the vibe, like for the spike, comment your vomit, and share if you care, if you dare to get Black empowerment everywhere. We are on all other platforms, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. Come and take a look. You might get hooked. Don't get shook by the fake Keep It P podcasts that are out there. There are fake ones. Love, peace, blessings, and maloha. I gotta go high for show high. You already know how. Big brother, light bright, supreme, almighty. Signing off, y'all.
Musty tether, yes, I'm speaking to you. Musty tether, where you fleeing to? Musty tether, yes, I'm speaking to you. Musty tether, where you fleeing to? I got into my Uber, what did I see? It was a dusty, musty tether, smelling like cheetah pea. Musty tether, yes, I'm speaking to you. Musty tether, where you fleeing to? I got into my Uber, what did I see? It was a dusty, musty tether, smelling like cheetah pea. Musty tether, yes, I'm speaking to you. Musty Musty tether, where you fleeing to? Musty tether, yes, I'm speaking to you. Musty tether, where you fleeing to? Musty tether, yes, I'm speaking to you. Musty tether, where you fleeing to? I got into my Uber. What did I see? It was a dusty, musty tether, smelling like Cheetah pea. Musty tether, yes, I'm speaking to you. Musty tether, where you fleeing to?